Hey guys, it is a beautiful fall morning here in Colorado. So just getting out for my recovery run today and a little walk to talk to you guys because I'd rather walk and talk instead of run and talk. That's just me. I'm always amazed at those of you who can do these full-on runs and YouTube at the same time. I struggle with that. Anyways, I thought I'd check in with you guys today, just with a little training update from me. I know it's been a really long time. Basically, I think the biggest training update I had was Boston Marathon and following up with that. So I'll link that in case you guys didn't get a chance to see that, but obviously that was way back in April. And yeah, I've just been kind of doing my own thing since then. Ran a couple races. If you follow me on Instagram, posted about those there. In fact, they were kind of disappointing in my mind. Not exactly what I wanted, but still really good performances. And yeah, can't complain about kind of the placement I had there and everything. So I just wanted to spend some time training for some shorter races and get up that speed a little bit before jumping right back into like half marathon or marathon training. So I'm gonna take these off. By the way, guys, these are Fosey Sunglasses. They've got like this pink line going on right now that a big percentage of what you spend will go to breast cancer research for company I will link below. So yeah, I love Fosey. They have really good sunglasses, but it has to be from this pink line. They're pretty fun. Anyways, so here we are, and it is now the end of September as I'm recording this, and I am finally training for something big, but had a little bit of a setback this summer, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that as well. So I know some of you guys know, but when I had a 4th of July race, a 4-miler. So basically it went really well for the most part, but then I got to the end, at the end, my foot was really hurting. Like I really couldn't even walk on it for the rest of the day, like the rest of the week. So I ended up taking off a lot of time, like a full week, I think. And it just really hasn't felt the same since then. And in fact, I took off a full other week, went to Hawaii, like ran through it there just because I really wanted to be able to run in Hawaii. And then I finally got in to see a PT. I'm waiting on a podiatrist appointment, which is next week, just to get a few more answers. But honestly, just seeing the PT has made such a huge difference. So I know I've talked about this before, but I really can't sing praises enough for all of you PTs out there, or just going to the PT is so helpful. So that's been great, and finally feeling like I can be in a position to train for something again. And so I started working with my own coach, and that's been different. Pretty much all of last year was lots of breakthroughs for me, and I'm just feeling a little bit more stuck this year. And even though I'm super disciplined, I just feel like having a coach allows you to have someone just looking from the outside in and maybe seeing something you don't see that they can tweak with your training. And I think it's just good for me as a coach to kind of be on the other side of it and know what my athletes are going through, what they're feeling. And honestly, just in this short week amount of time, it's just been really eye-opening for me. Sometimes my athletes share how they feel guilty, like if they have to take a rest day because if something's hurt or whatever, and I never want them to feel that way, and I've shared that with them. But it's that whole accountability piece, honestly, and it's good. It can be a double-edged sword, I think, as well. But yeah, I've definitely felt that this week. Like last night, for example, like she has different strength training for me on my schedule, and most of it's not that long, but it's the end of the day and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I already did my big run. I had a huge speed session yesterday, which was awesome. And then I'm like, nope, Sarah's going to see this, so I got to do it. And, it's that big accountability piece. And I know a lot of people are searching for that. And that's one big reason people, get a coach in the first place. So it can definitely be good for that. So I'm just really excited. I think from the speed session perspective is something where I need help in just tweaking, doing some different things than what I've done for myself in the past. Also, as disciplined as I am, sometimes I feel like I let up on the speed session. Whereas I think when I know someone's going to be looking at my splits, that type of thing, knowing I did the full workout, that's going to be really huge for me. So what am I training for? I'm training for the Houston Marathon at this point in time. I have not signed up, but planning to. Just want to see a couple more weeks how the foot is holding up. I have a backup option in February if necessary, but it's going well. The foot feels, I'd say, about 80%, and I feel pretty good about that, and just where things are headed with the PT and the progress that I've seen has been huge. So Houston Marathon, which is the middle of January. I want to say January 15th. So if you guys are running Houston, let me know below. We can support each other through this process, or even if you're running just, January marathon, we'll be basically training all at the same time, doing peak weeks and tapers and all that at the same time. So my goal is essentially to be updating you guys probably about once a month. I think that's what I did for Boston. It's a good amount for me in posting my training, and I've said this before, but I would much rather do training videos for you guys, really focused on a topic. I feel like I'm helping you with your training as opposed to talking about my training, but I also know that you guys can really glean a lot of good information from what I'm doing in my training as well. So that's really what I want to be sharing. So a little bit more on that before I kind of wrap this up is the big things that I really want to focus on with my own training. What I'm going to be leaning into a little bit more for this cycle is, like I said, the speed work, and obviously that's going to come from my coach, but just communicating back and forth with her, giving her feedback about, what's working, what she thinks is working, what I like, because from my perspective as a coach, like, I really like to know too what lights my athletes up, what gets them excited, and what they like doing in speed work, because at the end of the day, there could be lots of different speed sessions that you can be doing that will end up in the same result essentially. But yeah, I think we'll be having conversations about that, but just, really trusting her, trusting the process, just like I tell my athletes to do as well, will be a huge part of this. So that, and then fueling, I think, is always an opportunity for me. And I think specifically fueling the runs, not so much nutrition every day, which I think I really did a good job of during Boston and will continue to do so, but just fueling appropriately and enough for speed sessions and long runs and ultimately the marathon. And I will say, being a mom who's busy getting her kids ready in the morning, like, the focus is often very much on them and not on myself, when I'll end up going out for a run and being like, probably should have drank some water this morning, or, probably should have fueled a little bit better. And just leaning into that, being a little bit more mindful there, as well as probably workouts within the long run. Also something I think is a big opportunity for myself. So those will be big things. And then beyond that, I'm just really excited about what's going on with coaching my athletes. We have tons of races coming up. I would say fall season really kicked off with Labor Day. Lots of people running half marathons and marathons at this point, including someone this weekend in Australia. So good luck to her. That's her first one. And just lots of big things. Most of my athletes are in the US, but they're really placed all over. That's really exciting. Pretty close to a full roster of athletes at this point. But if you guys are interested in coaching, I will put my information below. Definitely always evolving there and what I'm offering. So definitely reach out if you are interested. If it does end up that I'm on some sort of waiting list, we will get you on there. So lots of fun things to come, and just always appreciate you guys and supporting the channel, and we'll keep this moving. And week 1 down for my 16 weeks of marathon training.